Live. There we are. Welcome in. And we are good to go. Whew. Didn't even know if I was going to make it. Okay, here we go. We are live. That's almost a perfect right angle. Huh. Okay, let's see what we got going on. And do I have any shimmer over here? I do not at the moment. Anything? Really? Nothing? Okay. Well, that sucks. Good evening. What's up, everybody? Give me 1 second. I got to grab a color. Apparently, I did not grab it. And that's okay. At 56, I'm entitled to forget crap. All right. There we go. There we go. So we're going to do some, I had a whole different plan set up for today, but we're kind of shifting on the fly. We're going to change things up. Let's see where we're at with this stuff. We are good to go on that. Okay. So I'm going to warm up real quick with a temporary marble. Not temporary, a marble. Temporarily with a marble. Then we'll jam into the other stuff. What's up, Cruising? Dragonfly. Who we got in here? John. Colleen. How are ya? Matt. Jenny. How are you? Bale. Okay, let's get going. Whoa. Taper that down. All right, we're good. Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to make it tonight. I thought I actually broke my foot. I got off the live stream today and I went to go move some tanks around, and I have them on these on an elevated platform a little bit. They're chained, but I went to move them around, and one of them slipped. I had it kind of tucked, and the brick cracked, and it just landed right on my foot. And I thought for sure I broke it, but I think I'm good. Okay, let's pull this down. I did want to share just a moment of the amber purple that we did earlier. We're going to go to the side view. So we got the guy. This was the one from yesterday. We're going to see some of those colors pop out. I'm going to knock out another version of this right now. I just got it stuck in my head, and I have to get it out of my head. I got to get this idea out of my head, or I won't be able to work on anything else. Okay, let's grab some solid rod here. Make sure we got no flaws. We're all good. So tonight's going to be a wild night. Welcome in. Cherry, thank you so much. Colleen, thank you for the jewels. Yeah, let's go wild. It's already wild. Got glass popping off. Am I sweating doing this? No, I'm cold as hell. I'm actually cold. It's not as hot as people think. It's not even close. During summer, that changes a little bit. But wintertime, no, not hot at all. Break your foot a couple of months ago, not fun. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It hurts. But the fact that it hurts tells me it's probably not broken. It's when it doesn't hurt that you go, uh-oh. All right, we got a little character here. So I'm going to show you something when we get stuff done, why I pull these little ends of the glass off. We're going to bring this in. See that little bit of tiny color there? That's why I pull the little ends off, because we have that little bit of color hanging there. Now I'm going to show you something that's really interesting with it too. Now it's much harder to see. And that's why sometimes you see me peeking under the glasses for that stuff. All right, we're going to go crazy town on the marble tonight. Who wants to go crazy town? Type 1 in the chat. Let's go crazy. We're going to go crazy town. I'm not making it gigantic. We're going to go about 2 inches, which is a good sized marble. Okay. We're going to use a smaller flame to kind of seal this up a little, and then we'll use the larger to kind of kick in make the mass here. So I am going to have audience participation a little bit on this. We're going to kind of go with some direction and see how it works. We're going to get your input on stuff. All right, got enough there. Let's kick it in. Oh, I forgot we're not on front view. Damn it. Hold on, I got to change. Well, it's going to be one of those streams. There we go. And let's just pull it in tight right now. There. We'll bring it in. So yeah, we're going to go a little bit off the rails here and do some funky, cool stuff. I know, that's geedy. All right, just have to build up enough bulk, meaning the clear. So when I do my marbles, I like to have a lot of clear involved with it. 2 reasons. One, I think having a lot of clear gives you that traditional marble look. And 2, it reduces the cost by a tremendous amount. Which means in the happy sense, I can sell the marbles for less. This makes it a little more affordable for everybody. But more importantly, I think it looks better to have a lot of clear in there. So it looks like a glass marble. All right, here we go. We're going to pop this in. A little bit more. Okay, we're going to start tapering it down. just about enough right here. All right. We are good to go. So while we got a moment, I'm going to show you the filter. What's up, Groves? I'm going to show you the filter. The filter is didymium, just like my lenses on my glasses. So we're going to pop it in here, and you're going to see a transition like that. And it kind of executes a little bit of a flame variation there. Filters out a lot of that super bright yellow. Basically the sodium flare. So what we're going to try and do tonight is avoid the damn cracking. So this is a marble we did the other night. I'm not happy that it broke, but it is what it is. See all those little tiny thousands of cracks in there? I'm going to try and get it so it's a little more visible. There we go. There's the little cracks. Crack is bad. Like that. So we're going to avoid that. Yeah, we're going to definitely avoid that. All right, let me pull this back just a tiny bit. Right there. So this is a good happy medium. In fact, I'm going to set camera view number 3 for that. All right, good. What causes it to crack? So that one was the actual color. That is a green color. That's kind of experimental from the company that produces it. And I've had good luck with it, but that doesn't mean all of it is perfect. So it was a little bit of an experiment. All right, we're going to be using the uranium glass. I'm going to put this off to the side for 1 second, show you uranium. So this is the uranium. Oh, how about we get in front of the camera? There, so that's uranium glass like that. It glows under blacklight, just like the jellyfish do. So we're going to layer it with uranium first. God, my foot hurts. We're going to do that just by striping it down this way. Put a little dot right here because I'm not having enough of it. There we go, a little dot there. And a dot. Now it's going to be one of those nights. Okay. Now we got C3PO. Tell me, I always see things in glass before we get started. And I share it with you, I'm sorry. So doesn't that have a little bit of that C3PO look without the eyeballs yet? Here, let's do a quick C3PO. Sorry, we're diverting. We're diverting at the moment. Hold on. We're going to make a quick C3PO. Oh, that's a heart. There we go. We got the little eyeballs going. I can't make it all the way, but there we go. We got a little bit of C3PO looking there. All right, here we go. We're back to normal. I am going to do a wild marble right now. I'm going super wild on it. I just did something here. We might add a little something I've never done before on it. All right, we're going to use that shimmer glass. This is liquid metal looking. It literally looks like liquid metal. When it's done correctly. Kind of like Terminator 2 liquid metal. Bring it out here. A little bit of that. All right, so we got a lot of that on there. We're going to mix this up. Then we're going to go on to amber purple from here. We're going to go one more kick of the amber purple run, and from there, we'll be okay. Yeah. So let me show you what we got so far. Welcome to the stream. If you don't mind, I am always sharing with you the process. So it takes me a little while longer to make the items, but I share the process. So there's uranium glass and a little bit of that liquid metal. Okay, now I want you to keep an eye on it. It won't take me long to kind of get it manipulated here. So I'm going to show you what happens when you start finger painting the hell out of it. And here we go. And then we're going to color it on top of that. So this is kind of like a base coating, like a primer. This would be considered a primer. I'm going to go all over the place here. Now, I don't know what other people call this technique, but I call it finger painting. It's not an official glass term, but in my world, it is a glass term. We're going to come over here and just kind of swirl it all over the place. And I'm going to show you the progress of what the difference is and what it looks like and what it doesn't here in a second. I love sharing the process. So there's the finger painting. You can see it kind of swirling all the way around versus there's the line. So that's what it looks like before. And then that's what it looks like after. We're not even close to done yet, though. So that's before, after. Thank you, Kenny. Yeah, tonight's going to be a while. I'm in a funky mood right now. So I'm trying to take the pain away from my foot. So we're just going to distract it by going wild on the glass. So we have uranium and the liquid metal electrum glass in here. Make it all the way around. Yeah, putting down lines and then manipulating. I call it finger painting. It literally is finger painting. Okay, we're going to come through and get the rest of it done. It should be a pretty wild look. And when I'm doing this process, what I kind of envision are tide pools. So like if you're ever at the beach or something, you catch the little tide pools in there and you see the water swirling around. That's kind of what I envision while doing this. Other people see other things, but I think a tide pool is very elegant. It's beautiful when it's doing its thing. And oddly enough, I'm not a water person. I wouldn't jump in the tide pool, but I like looking at it. All right, let's manipulate this a little bit more. The trick, though, is you don't want to mix it too much. Okay, here we go. So we got the hot shot going. Let's bring the colors in. You can see the finger painting action going on right there. Let's let it cool off for a second. So we have uranium and a liquid metal looking glass. And since we're waiting for it for a minute, let's go back to the main menu here, pop it out. And we're going to avoid like this one. So that one cracked. You can see that glowing there. That one cracked all to hell. It's going to be a studio piece now. And the uranium glass is what's in the tentacles of this guy right here. So you can see it lights up and everything down below here. All right, we should be good. Let's bring out side view. And now you can see all that action. So kind of everywhere you see that kind of yellowish green, that's the uranium glass. The liquid metal is on top like that. So now we're going to take amber purple and buzz. If I was amber purple, which one would I want to be? You're a perfect color. So believe it or not, this is a color right here. It is a fantastic color. Let's pop right there. Okay. So we're going to finger paint on top of it again. Thank you, Kathy. Welcome in, everybody. YouTube, welcome in. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Totally random stream at the moment. I had a whole plan set up. But, yeah, I kind of tanked that idea at the moment. I had an oxygen tank drop on my foot. Not far. Doesn't take much, though. I mean, they're heavy. I think it only dropped like 3 inches, but that's enough to hurt like hell when they're full. Okay, so we're coming around. We're adding this amber purple here. Yeah, I'm debating on doing teal in this. What do you guys think? Should we do teal? Should we add teal to this or keep it very, like earth tones only, like browns and liquid metals? What do you guys think? Audience participation. Add teal or keep it very earth tone? I'll let you guys decide. All right, we're melting it in right now. I'm looking at the chat. So I'm watching chat for both TikTok and YouTube at the same time here. Trying to keep pace. Teal's looking like it's coming in. Yeah, not a lot of teal, just a smidge. Just a smidge. Yeah, definitely teal. I think we're going to add teal. All right, let me grab it. I can still talk while we're doing this. I just have to go grab me some teal. Let's go grab it. Okay, there we go. This is like one of my favorites too, right here. Oh, it's perfect. And let's see here. I might actually get a little bit wild. What are you? No. Okay. All right, we're going to go a little bit wild tonight, like I said. Let me pop this in the kiln. I'll show you what we're working with. So there are two colors here. One is very, very old, no longer produced, and the other one is a common color by a company I don't normally use. So the bottom one is kind of like an aqua teal from a company called Glass Alchemy. I don't buy much from them, but it's a cool color. Now the top one is a experimental color that's no longer produced. It's called NS52 from North Star Glassworks with a what's called an old moss color to it. I'm going to bring it in really close as I can. There we go. So that is the color right there. You can't see it very well, but there is a sparkle shimmer to it. And that is it. Now that color, this color is no longer produced. It literally was a one-off batch. We're going to use it in this marble. Just because we're going to go exotic. Who would I say my favorite lamp worker is? My mom. Okay, so we're going to add this teal in. Basically, my favorite lamp workers you wouldn't know. There's a gentleman by the name of Steve Gruba that was absolutely one of my favorites. I think, you know, and then you have another guy named Sundance back in the day. And then the king of kings when it came to lamp working was a guy by the name of Bob Hooper. And I wish I had more pictures of Bob's work, because Bob Hooper literally invented the game of large borosilicate glass. He literally made a dragon that had a 4.5-foot wingspan of glass. So just the dragon wings were 4.5 feet. It was, and for borosilicate, that is massive. Okay, so we got the teal on there. Let me show you where we're at with it. Yeah, it was a fantastic. He was the master of large items. We do have a piece of his over here, so we got a little bit of that teal running in there. We're going to blend it all in, but it's going well with that color combo. Yeah, it was 4 feet wide. The wings. All right, let's, well, I got to pop this down. Yeah, it was massive. And he was the king of it. I mean, he developed the techniques for it. He had an entire didymium shield that was like top to bottom, and he used to have to work his arms around the shield because of the heat. But unfortunately, addiction took him over, and he gave up glassblowing. And then there was another guy that pretty much invented a lot of equipment for lamp workers back in the day named Harold Hacker. Harold Hacker was the original owner of the glass studio at Knott's Berry Farm and set up Disney. And he made probably, I remember it when I was really young, we went to see him. I went with my mother, and it was the most beautiful Tinkerbell I've ever seen. It was, as far as sculptures, it was probably, I don't know, 2 feet tall, and it was a Tinkerbell. And it was no color, just straight up clear and sandblasted glass. So yeah, a lot of the people, they wouldn't even know. And Steve Gruba could make anything animal-wise out of glass. In fact, if Steve Gruba is still around doing glass work, you should look him up. He's in Kingman, Arizona. All right, so we're layering this color on here. Just kind of blending it in. All right, I think we got some really good swirls in there. Here we go. I love those hot shots. And here we go. Now you can see the colors. Everything's kind of swirling around. There's a little bit of that teal running in there. And we got the amber purple popping in. Yeah, we got that tie-dye lava look. And we got uranium. We are running uranium. L to the B, good job. Sammy Hagar, Red Rocker. All right, so next step, we're going to kind of swirl a little bit on the top here. I'm actually not going to spiral it. Okay, now we got to start kind of making it into the shape. And we're going to pop it back out so we get a good view. So we're going to be using the molds up here. These are like little half domes of graphite. And this is what helps shape a marble. What's up, John? I haven't seen you in a while. I was going to send you a message. I was hoping you were okay. What's up, John? How you doing? Nice hair? Yeah, I've had it my whole life. I've had this white hair for a really long time. So right now we're just kind of compressing this down, and we're going to use the mold to start getting it into the round marble shape. Thank you, John. I appreciate you. John sent a membership to someone. Thank you so much. Here we go. So the main thing is you do not want to push this in, okay? Actually, I should do it from this side so you guys can see better. So you don't want to force it, okay? Never, ever force the glass. It can shape on its own. John, thank you so much. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to bring this out and I'm going to show you the hot shot. So part of my stream is I like including everybody in the process. So it takes me a little while longer to do projects, but I think showing you the process as we go through is part of the fun. I'm going to do that hot shot one more time. This is a really cool screenshot if you ever want to catch a really cool background for your phone, like a wallpaper for your phone. This is awesome. I'm going to bring it over, let it cool, and right about now, it's going to start turning into some amazing colors here for a wallpaper. Isn't that right there? Right there. Oh, that would be so freaking cool. We're going to add a little light to the subject. You can see that the marble is now getting some color to it. that really shimmer, metallic-y look. You saw an angry face? That's awesome. Ran a glass factory in Ohio River. Awesome. Yeah, it's tough to run a factory, I can tell you firsthand. Because I've been there. It's not easy. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to punt you up and make the other side round. Because right now we got an ice cream cone. And here we go. We're going to punty it right up. And basically, when I say punty, it just means an attachment rod, a holding rod, temporarily. Oh, you're welcome. I like showing the process. I like including everybody in the process. I want my stream to be extremely interactive. I do know, Mike. I'm not saying that name. I thought you meant Hearst. No, I'm not saying that. I'm like Gen X. You can't get me on that. That's like an old ass joke. Go watch Porky's. I'm a Gen X, baby. You can't get me on that crap. All right. Let's... All right, so I'm going to show some of my glass people in here little tips and tricks also. So on the front here, you can see it's got a really big clear spot. We want to get rid of that. This is one of the hardest things to kind of try and get rid of. You've got the tip up there. When you separate it off here. So the way I do it is I grab whatever color I'm working with. Let's do amber purple. In fact, we'll use a smaller flame so you guys get a better view. I'm going to pop it way in too. Let's bring it right up so you guys get a better view. So we're going to take it here. And just spin some color around. Now, if you're working with two colors, I always advise taking your secondary color and popping it in there too. Now, this is extremely strong, so it doesn't need a lot like that. Just a little bit. And what the hell, we'll throw some teal in there. Now, is this 100% necessary? Not really. There are other ways of doing it, but I think this is one of the most elegant solutions to creating this tapering. Okay, then we're just going to take this and tiny little swirls. This is my Bob Ross tribute. Happy little swirls. Mix it right up. Like that. Yeah, Bob Ross is one of my heroes. Dragonfly even sent me a Bob Ross toaster. Makes Bob Ross toast. Now we have that front all layered up like that. So now we don't just have that big clear bobble. And you can see we got all the colors running in the top. Oh, you can see a little uranium in there. See that green? That's the uranium. Yeah, Dragonfly sent me a Bob Ross toaster. I can't even tell you how awesome that thing is. It is an epic toaster. Who do we have in here? We have new people. Michelle, be good. Richie, Mr. Fusion, welcome in. Kane, what's up? Sai, how are you? That's on there. I appreciate that. Yep, I love my job, so we kind of have some fun with it. I like making my stream very interactive with people. So if you have questions, make sure you shout them out. I try to get to questions. If I can't, one of the moderators usually can help me out. If it's a super important question, they will pin it for me to read. All right, let's show you what the filter is. So my glasses have a didymium filter. That means it filters out certain light spectrums. We're going to bring it down this way. And we're going to pop this filter right here. And now you can see it pretty much makes the flame disappear. Like that. And there we go. Isn't that cool? I love it. So that's how I see the world. Now, normally, a lot of people ask, why don't I leave the filter on the camera all the time? And the main reason is that filter will eliminate a lot of the colors. You'll only see like 20% of all color. It filters out so much. If you're not seeing yellow in the flame, you won't see yellow at all anyway. Almost like wearing a welding helmet. Yeah, very close. But this particular lens is called didymium. There's also another company called Philips Safety Lenses, and they make a couple different versions. But one of the less expensive, especially for a temporary set of glasses, is Ace 202. And it's kind of like a blue tint, not the pinkish color, pinkish purple. It's very blue. That's what I actually have on, are the Boro TrueView 3.0s. So that means it's got the didymium and then a welding shade number 3. My welders out there will know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so we got to go back to the marble mold. And again, I don't push it in, okay? I can't stress this enough. If you try and force glass to do things, it won't work. All right, here we go. So you can even do it 2 fingers. Now, in order to make this super round, you always go down a couple tiers of the marble size. You want the marble riding around the entire rim of the mold. You don't want it fitting into the mold. If it's fitting in, you're not doing it correctly. Initial push, yes, but like right now for the refinement, it should be running around that way. I'm explaining. I'm not really teaching. I'm just explaining. If I was going to be teaching, we'd be way more in depth. There would be a lot more information coming out right now. What's up, Dale? And there's Dragonfly Creation. So if you are new to the channel, Dragonfly Creation, Groves Glass Gallery, or lamp workers, they're also moderators on here. And they do glass work just like I do. I highly suggest you give them a follow. They have been getting very good over the past 6 months. And you want to know them before they become super famous. And say, I was with them before that ever started. No, this isn't a 3. This is just 2-inch marble. This isn't the 3. John, thank you for the membership. All right, one more time here. But I will give you a little tip and trick here. If I have any glass people that are on right now that are not experienced, I'll show you a little tiny trick about making a marble. Oh yeah, L to V, they are amazing people. But I always say, get to know them before they become super famous. Where's Red Squeak? Is Red Squeak here? I don't know if Red Squeak's here. We got to promote Red Squeak's photography. Okay, there we go. Let's get it hot shot again. Little hot shot. Every time I see the sun through the, I forget what satellite it is, but they show the sun photos and videos. This always reminds me of it. Now we got a big looking blank spot in there, right? You saw that big blank spot? Watch. The color's starting to pop out. There's a lot of amber purple in there. Now, if it doesn't turn out in a little bit, we can go in and correct it. But there, you can see the colors popping out right now. And we're not even close. This isn't the only color that's happening, okay? We're not close to done yet. Yeah, this is the experimental teal. Yes. Yeah, this has the experimental teal. I'm trying to think of what year that teal was made. I want to say 2003? Somewhere around 2003. Oh, that's too short. I would say if I had to guess when that teal was made, I would say 2003. Okay, let's punty that up. Yeah, I'm not sure the color's going to pop. I think I got amber purple in there. Yeah, there's amber purple in there. Older than you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's old color. It actually was a mistake. They made the color and they made a mistake on it. And at the time, I was buying a lot of colored glass for my factory. And they called me up and they said, hey, we made a mistake on this color. Are you interested in it? And they sent me a sample. And I said, hell yeah. And I bought the entire lot of it. It was 35 pounds. So I bought the entire 35-pound lot of it. And I still have some left over all these years later. I probably sold about 10 pounds of it off over time. Okay, there we go. So we got to bring this little nipple down here. Let's pop it in. Okay. So we got to get rid of that little tiny bump right at the top. Ooh, look at the cut. See the colors popping out already? We're not even there yet. Thank you for the heart muse, by the way. KCH, thank you for the floating heart. All right, here we go. So we're going to melt in again. And we go back to the mold to fine tune it now. Yeah, we're good. Little bit right there. All right. Oh, this will be a good spot. I'm going to show you guys a little trick here. Bayo, thank you for the membership. You and John are rocking. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for sending out the memberships. All right, side view. So what I want you to watch on here, this is a little educational portion of it. See the reflection right about I'm trying to get it right there where the light's reflecting. Now that's not going to move, but as I spin it around, see that wobble right there? See how it went short to big? That tells me I got a gap in there. So as I'm spinning it around, you'll see these small, and then it jumps back out. So that's how I can tell where the wobbles are and where it's not. We'll come out here. See how much more smooth it is right there? Come back up here. And it's just all over the place. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those wobbles. And look at those colors. Did I tell you it'd be beautiful or what? We're not even, it's still got coloring to go. Yeah, spinning smooth is like one of the best things you could ask for. It's a good feeling. So now I just have to get rid of that wobble. David, thank you so much for sending the jewels. I know, it almost looks hollow, right? That's why I like the clear core. You know, I see too many people adding too much color to marbles. I don't think you need every bit of it full of color. All right, we just got to get this hot enough so I could get rid of that little wobble. And to do that, we come over to the smaller mold and we just let it run around the side. Go back up even smaller. See how it's running pretty smooth right now? No jumping. We've got still a little bit left to go. So this is my two-handed method here. I use this as a brace. I'm not really spinning it with it. You can actually just hold it like this if you wanted. This is just a brace to keep it from wobbling around too much. Then bring it back out. Oh, yeah. Not a wobble. Not a single wobble. I can show you one of the cobalt roses if you want. They are in the kiln. They'll be in there all night. But they are close to the front. And now you can see those colors popping out. Now watch the reflection. You're going to see it stay pretty smooth here. No wobbles. And there it is from the inside. You can see that ambery color. See the ambers? And then on the opposite side, the inverse. Now we get all those really funky, chaotic colors going. Last punty. Yeah, the teal it pops really, really, really well. Never thought you'd watch marbles being made? Well, that's a huge compliment. Thank you for that. Thank you for that compliment. I really appreciate it. That's like the biggest compliment someone could say. Okay. All right, we just have to burn it off here, smooth it out, and then we'll use Dragonfly Creations' wonderful marble holders and pop this off. A lot of people always ask, how do you get it off the rods when you're done and keep it round? And if you have another 2 minutes, I'm going to show you. What's up, Mike? Let's go ahead and get this little bit off here. Got to be super careful because it's attached to the rod is attached to the marble, but it's kind of stuck on it. It's not fused. There's a big difference between fused and stuck. I want to leave it stuck so when I break the rod off of it, it leaves a clean surface. We smooth it out with the flame, but for the most part, it leaves it pretty clean. Then we're going to come over to the really small mold here and just kind of bounce it through. This one is technically pretty perfectly round. It's really round. What's up, Johnny boy? How you doing? We do take marble commissions. Just understand there is a little bit of a backup on some of the stuff. Oh, hey, Deb. Oh, tell Kevin I said hello. Okay, so we are good on here. Let's show you the other side. What's up, Mama? Mama KD. Kelly, how are you? All right, here we go. So this is the side that had that big opening in the top, but it's going to get covered up. There's amber purple in there. It's just not showing at the moment. That little clear section is going to kind of get covered. And there is the little teal. I'm going to bring it right in. So there's that super sparkle teal. There's a little amber purple right there. We'll see if we can see it starting to strike in there. I'm actually going to leave it on side view for a moment. So we got to get this off here. All right, so we grab it with Dragonfly's really cool marble tool right here. That's what I have in my hand. And then to get it off the stick, you just tap and off it comes. I'm going to see if I can show you the little punty mark right there. Oh, you can kind of see it. Hold on. This might be really fun to see. See that little tiny mark almost dead center? That little half circle? That's where the punty was. So we just smooth it out. Like that. Let's see if we can get the front of this to strike up just a tiny bit before we pop it in the kiln. So this is what I'm going to try. We got this big clear gap in here. I know there's amber purple right there. Okay, that big clear gap. See if we can get it to kind of strike up a little. Heat it up and cool it off. So what I'm doing now is heating and cooling that section, and it makes this one particular color react, and it starts growing these little micro crystals to create the color effect that I want. All right, I think that's as close as I can get for the moment, but remember that big gap that was in there? See, all gone. Now it's not there. Ooh, almost dropped it. Shit. Oh, crap. Damn it. I never swear. Sorry. I got to park that way back there. So someone was asking about the cobalt rose we did earlier. And this is it. Let's pop on the side view. So this is cobalt. I mean, I love that look without the lighting on it. Look how beautiful that is, right? Y'all ready for a reveal? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Is that not freaking cool? And that's without. And back on. Okay. Whoa. Marble's coming back out. It's trying to come back out and play. It literally rolled all the way out. Okay, I'm going to let you guys vote. Another marble that's insanely crazy, or I know I need a swear jar, or do we do flower? I'm going to let you guys go. I know, bad marble. Marble or flour. You guys decide. Give it just a minute here while we're doing that. Well, I don't care if I drop it. If the marble drops, it's not going to do anything. Okay, I need mods on TikTok and mods on YouTube to kind of help me figure out what's happening with it. If we go marble, I'm going to use that teal again. We'll put some amber purple in there. Maybe a little cobalt this time too. Yeah, you can drop the marbles all you want. It's not going to have a problem. What do I have unclaimed? Well, that first marble I just did is unclaimed. But if we do a second one, it's going to be a little bit insane here. Okay, we've had enough interaction, so I need a mod on TikTok and a mod on YouTube to tell me what it was. Marble or flour? Because I need to get going. Ever burnt myself? A tiny bit. All right, TikTok is marble. And I'll wait for YouTube here. Marble on YouTube as well. All right, we'll go insane. Do you claim insane one? Yeah, we're going to do insane right now again. We're going insane in the membrane. We'll call it the insane in the membrane marble. The insane in the membrane marble. In fact, we're going to do it. I got a really cool freaking marble for you guys. Marble? Okay. All right, we're going to go insane in the membrane marble. All right, we open this up. So we'll be using tubing for this part of it. I'm designing the marble in my head right now. Yeah, this is going to be a cool one. I've never made it. I've never made this version before. All right, this is going to be, I'm kind of excited about this. Yeah, it'll have uranium. But not like you think. Okay, so we got to open this top up. Here we go. So we're going to be using tubing. We're going to pop it open. Oh, that was easy. Hear the whistle? Listen. Oh, now it doesn't whistle. It just whistled for a second. All right, we got to flare this open a little. About like that. Then we're going to seal this bottom back up. Okay, and then we're going to preheat this tubing. Just a wee bit. All right, so we're going to leave it like that for a second. Well, I'm going to open it up just a tad bit more. Hold on. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I don't care if it is or isn't. There we are. All right, so we got that going. So there's a little opening right there. All right, we got to pop this in the kiln and make the second portion of what we're doing. So let's grab some good old uranium here. Got some uranium glass. If you're not familiar with uranium glass, it is this wonderful stuff. So we got it right here, and you can see that it lights up under black light. Like that. It's insane. That's why we're doing insane in the membrane. And let's pop it back. A normal view. Nope, that's not normal. There we go. Okay, so we're going to grab it here. All right, I think we're going to do black with it. Yep. Let me make sure this is the right version. Yep. All right. So we're going to stripe the black down the uranium here. And then we're going to come across, grab some clear, and stripe on the other side. This will be a fun marble. I'm kind of excited about this one. I think it'll look good. Okay. So again, I like including everybody along the ride. So here we go. I'm going to show you what the colors are doing right now. We got the uranium in the center. We got a little clear right there, and we got black on the other side. So if we bring it out, you can see it's a tricolor. I don't know if the lighting will show it. I think my light's off. There we go. So yeah, it's a little bit of a tricolor. There's the uranium, clear, and black. Now we're going to spin that up into what's called a latticino. Sounds like a coffee. But we're going to spin the whole thing up. Keep it kind of thin. This is going to show you some different processes for doing the glass. So right now we're just spinning everything up. Let's pop in. Bea, thank you for the membership gift. You're awesome. Okay, there we go. We're going to pop it in a little bit. So now you can see that color's kind of spun all the way around. Man, it's hard to see on there. Let's see if I can get it to show up a little bit right here. You can kind of see it spun up right there. So that is all wound up like that. All right, let's back it off just a little bit. Nope, that's closer. I got to get my camera views down. All right. So that piece of tubing we did earlier, we're going to grab that and we're going to put the latticino on the inside of the tube. Okay, if you are a newer glassblower or you are inexperienced, if you are doing this, please wear a glove. Got you, Mama. Got you, Kelly. Daisy Girl. What's up, Red Squeak? All right, so again, if you are a newer glassblower, lamp worker, whatever, and you are attempting this, make sure you wear a glove. I'm actually going to punch way in on this, okay, because this is going to be cool to watch. So what's going to end up happening is we're going to stick this color on the inside of the tube. And kind of wind it up in there. Here we go. Right about there. So everything's getting applied on the inside here. Like that. So now you can see it's kind of like a little snake running around inside there, but if you look on the inside, everything's built on the inside of the tube right now. Okay, we're going to go to the other side and pop it in there as well. We're going to use all this glass up. But this is why I was saying you got to wear a glove if you're not familiar with this, because one wrong move and the flame is going to hit your hand. There we go. Get this as much in there as I can. Okay. Let's go ahead and heat this up a little so it doesn't crack. I'll show you on the side view. All right, let's bring it out here. There. So now you can see all the colors running basically on the inside there. And it's just striped in there. Now, wait till you see what happens after we start bringing it down and doing its thing. You can see the colors definitely running through there. Lots of uranium. We are making a marble. Oh, I just wear I would wear a regular leather glove. I wouldn't worry about Kevlar. Kevlar gloves are nice, but I always found them to be a little bit like slippery. I always find Kevlar to be super slippery for gloves. That's why I don't like working with. Come on, seriously? Wow. There we go. That's how you know you're pulling a point okay. All right, so now we're going to heat this up and we're going to shrink it down the end a little bit. Okay, get it balanced. We're going to start heating that flare, that section, and we're going to shrink it down. And there we go. And there's the filter. And we're going to bring it down a little bit. This is going to be the insane in the membrane marble. Yep, this will work. So I don't want to close that tube off. I don't want to close the tube. So we're going to attach an open tube. This is a piece of tubing. It's not solid. Okay, we want to leave both ends open for this process. There we go. So like that. I'm going to bring it in really close again. And we're going to start shrinking this down. So we got to start collapsing this. And this just takes a little bit of patience here. We're getting it super hot. And there we are. We're going to use the little L bracket up here, the marver. And keep collapsing down. A little bit more. All right, this is starting to look really, this is this is a cool technique. Wait till you see it. Okay, we're pretty close to being able to show it. I just have to collapse it a little bit more. Okay, get it really shrunk down. Okay, that's about all I needed on that. We're going to close off this end now. And give it a little bit of a corkscrew. Here we go. Not much, just a tiny little baby bit. Let's see if we can pull all the air out. There we go. So we've got to separate this now. And let me show you where we're at. Yeah, this is going to be pretty intense now. So here we are to the side. So now you see all those like lines running on the inside. This is why I call it insane in the membrane, because it starts looking like a little brain kind of going off in there. Okay, what is wrong with my light? There we go. See if I can get it right up on there. Yeah, it definitely has the colors going. So we're going to reverse the punty to the other side now. And pull off the air on the other end. Yeah, this is going to be pretty amazing. So my goal on this is we're going to make this marble where there are two open windows. So 2 open windows that you could see through the marble and see the brain. And then the rest of the outside of the marble is going to be colored. So there'll be 2 little portals to look inside. All right, let's get the rest of this pulled out. Yeah, it's going to be 2 little portals. So when you look at the marble from the side, it's all colored up. And then when you look at it from top or bottom, you'll see the little brain sitting in there. I call it a brain. I don't know. Okay, so we'll pull the air out. So instead of blowing glass, we're pulling it out. The opposite. All right. Let's trim that up. Now, in order to do this correctly, I'm going to have to reverse the direction and everything this guy's going. Going to have to do a complete reversal here. All right, so we got to get a little spot right here. Pull that off. There. Okay, we're good on that. Let me show you where we're at. Again, I like bringing the audience into the interactions. Look at that. So let me show you why I'm going to move it to the side. So this would be, if I was to do a marble normal, this is the view you would get if you looked at it from the inside. And it's not bad. It's just a typical little spiral, right? Now let's bring it out here, and I'll show you what it'll look like from the sides if I do it that way. So now we're going to get all, well, it's not really showing up as well as I want, but so now we'll see that view versus that. There's nothing wrong with that, but this is a much better view. Man, while it's hot, it's not showing. There we go. Yeah, it's not showing all the way yet. All right, so let's go ahead and start reversing the marble here. So we're just going to come over to this side. Pull that off. Oh, forgot the view. Hold on. Let me change the view. I apologize. There we go. All right, so we're going to pop it into the side. You know what? I think I'm going to have a bigger rod here. I've never done this before, so I'm kind of flying with you guys. All right, there we are. Okay, let's bring this off. And burning it off. Almost looks like a football. All right, so we just got to make sure it's all good to go here. Yeah, this is going to be a great, like I said, this is going to be a fantastic marble. I'm pretty excited for it. You're going to start to see those little patterns in there now. So those are the little patterns we'll see. Unfortunately, right now with the uranium and everything, it's super red and orange. But it's going to be black in uranium. There. That's what you're going to see on the inside. That. I think I just got my camera angry. All right, let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to add the first layer of clear on one side, and then we're going to do the other side. Let's get it. I know, egg. We call it a dragon egg. All right, here we go. Hard to imagine that came from tubing, though, right? It does show green. So uranium, when it's hot, shows a different color. When it cools off, it goes green. Every color has a little different property to it. So they don't exactly show up like they're supposed to while they're hot. Once they cool off, they definitely do. All right, let's build this up. This is going to be an adventure for me. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work, but we're going to try it. I'm hoping it doesn't get too big, though. All right, here we are. We're getting some nice texture to it. Trying not to distort the image in the middle. I think this is working. Hey, happy little accidents, right? It's good to see everybody. I'm happy to be here with y'all. All right, a little bit more. Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just excited about this. I'm so sorry. It's just looking awesome from my view. No neon. Neon is a totally different art form, and it is an art form. But that's totally different. You know, it's like someone working on motorcycles, a motorcycle mechanic versus an auto mechanic. Both mechanics, but two totally different worlds. Oh my God. I can't wait to show you guys. I just need a moment to get clear on the other side, and I cannot wait to show you. Can I make a cobalt green? There is no cobalt green. Cobalt's cobalt. I might be reading the chat wrong too. Is it expensive to make? Depends. You know, this piece will be a little bit, the uranium glass is very expensive. The black, not so much, but it depends on what we do to the outside of it too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, neon is a totally different art form, and it is an art form. I tried it once just for fun. There was a guy in the San Francisco Bay Area, little town in Redwood City, and he made neon signs, very, very well known for it. And I stopped by there, and he helped me, like, try it. Now, let's pull this little bit off here. Okay. So we're not close to being done with it yet, but you're going to start to see some of these little actions going on. I can't get it too close to the camera right away, but you're going to see all these little swirls going. We're going to magnify the hell out of it right now. And that's not even going to be the best part. How much does an average piece go for? It depends. I mean, everything's different. You know, it's like going to a mechanic saying, how much is a tune-up? You don't know what you're going to know until you get into it. You know, some places have standard, but maybe they dive into it and they find a different problem. It's really hard to just say on average, but you can go to my website. You can see everything there. The website is TheFieryGuy.com. And I'm going to give my shout outs here. Grove's Glass Gallery and Dragonfly Creation are also lamp workers or glass blowers like me. I would highly encourage you to go follow them. They're doing fantastic. Their live streams are a lot of fun. And I like promoting people that are good family people with me. And I mean family like I consider my mods family. And members I also consider family. I like having people around. Yeah, it does for the moment, but it won't. It's going to lose that Prince Rupert's drop very quickly here. Yeah, Groves is a good person to follow. So is Dragonfly Creation. And then Red Squeak somewhere around here, I think. There's Red Squeak. Red Squeak is also doing an amazing job with photography. We're gonna see if we can get her a little bit famous for photography. But Red Squeak's been with me for a long time. Been following, and yeah. Red Squeak's been on my channel for a long time. Oh my goodness. Wait till you guys see this. We're not too far off from showing a little bit. This isn't close to done, but yeah. I do ship overseas. Just understand the shipping can be pretty outrageous. But yes, I do ship overseas. As long as the items are legal in your country. All right, we're temporarily there. I don't want to go much more because everybody knows what I'm about. The marble starts out small, and yeah, it doesn't turn out small. Let me get rid of this little shard in there. There we go. All right, let's round this out a little bit, and I'm going to try and give you a good view. If you've stuck around this long, I really appreciate it. Now's the time that you're going to start to see some amazing stuff happening. What's up, Crystal? How are you? We're making a giant marble right now. Not giant, but a bigger marble. All right, so we're just kind of rounding this out. I'm going to give you a rough look at it. It's not complete yet, but this is going to give you a little sampling of what we have going on. I got to pop 2 little air bubbles out of here from the 2 ends, but yeah, I'm super excited about this. I'm sorry, I'm all jazzed up. This is a totally new concept. Totally new. So I'm excited. Sorry if that bugs anybody, but yeah, it is what it is. Woo! Yeah. I'm so excited. This is going to be amazing. Here we go. So it's just now starting to come in. Okay, give it a second. Man, I wish this would cool off in the way I want it to. So you can see that spiral kind of running through there. It's going to look very brainiac when it gets done. Yeah, it's not showing. It's hot. We got to get rid of that heat a little bit when we start on the sides. But I will show you the air bubbles. Got a little air bubble right there, and we got a bigger one right there. Got a little bubble. Little bubblicious right there. See? Got to get rid of it. So let's do a poll somehow. If you wouldn't mind typing your favorite color in chat. I'm always kind of curious in general how people are about their colors. Type your favorite color in chat. Pinky in the brain, yeah. Purple and blue. 2 people said pinky in the brain. Oh my God. TikTok and YouTube, you both said at the same time. Green, orange, midnight blue. Awesome. Purple. All right, let me get rid of these bubbles. Okay, there we go. Cobalt black, red. A lot of purple. Seafoam green. Purple is like the unicorn of colors in this type of glass. So this type of glass is called borosilicate. And it is derived mainly from boron, or borax laundry soap is the main contingent there. Not the actual soap, but what makes borax laundry soap, boron. And that's what makes Pyrex. So borosilicate is a form of glass, a type of glass. Pyrex is a brand of glass. So when you hear Pyrex, Pyrex is technically a borosilicate glass. And it's derived from boron, or 20-multene soap. Okay, so the next step here is we're going to kind of get it rounded out a little bit. Okay, we got to round it just a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to control it, Groves. Thank you guys for the color polls, by the way. Thank you for mentioning your color. It really helps me to determine what colors I should keep on hand all the time. Because I want to, again, appeal to everybody here. All right, let's bring it out a little. We're going to round it a little bit. This is not done by any stretch. But I kind of have to get it, I have to move it a little bit. So that's my suntan flame. When I need a suntan, I can use that flame. So the flame's not hot, but it does produce an ultraviolet light. And that is what kind of hits you. It's like a sunburn. So I wear sunblock all the time. So we're bringing it over here to the little mold just to kind of help shape it. We're not making the full marble yet. Okay, we're going to bring it back out. So we're not making it full marble yet. I'm just kind of rounding this out a little bit. Yeah, it's not showing yet. Damn it. That uranium keeps it hot. Normally you'd be able to see in there pretty well. All right, so we're going to reverse the punty here and add some clear to the other side, round it out a little. And then we're going to go around this outside like a band. And we're going to add color. Once we start doing that process, this should leave little peaky windows on either side of the marble. So most of it will be colored, but when you look at it inside, you're going to see this little brain in there. There we go. So we're just going to round this out a little bit. And then we're going to go from there. Okay, we're good. Let's add a little bit on here. Unfortunately, this marble is going a little bit bigger than I wanted, but hey, is anybody surprised? Not now, not why it's hard to get purple. Purple is a odd color in borosilicate. At least the purple that I like, it's not available. So all my purples that are like a royal purple, like the true royal purple, I have to make myself. Because nobody makes the exact shade and color I like. So I end up having to make it myself. And that's going to be part of my Patreon or school class, whatever. I don't know which one. I think I'm going to go Patreon. But that's going to be part of my Patreon account, is you're going to get access to my entire color book. I thought about it and I said, you know, I'll put my color book out there on how to do things and that type of stuff. Connie, that would be up to Stephanie. I have no idea if she received your email. I do not check the emails very often. Stephanie handles all that. You don't want me responded to the email anyway, because I'm super dyslexic. You're going to end up with, you know, your round cat is shipped on air freight. You know, that type of thing. You don't want my dyslexic butt emailing you, trust me. Dragonfly sent me the funniest shirt. I can't repeat it, but it's funny. Okay, here we go. Oh, Gross, did you get my number from Dragonfly by chance? You need to have it. And if you are a mod on here and you do not have my phone number, message Dragonfly. All the mods should have my number to text. Okay, let's get this rounded out. Okay, I'm so excited for this marble. I just can't wait. to see this. I'm so excited for it. All right, we got to go to the side view. It's pretty safe too. I'm not worried about it cracking. I'm not at all worried about it cracking. So we're going to see a little bit of that Brainiac going in there. You know, I saw this on the marble mold. Let me see if I got my plate here. Up against black, it showed up a little better. There we go. So you can kind of see those little spirals going off in there. Okay, so we're going to come in tight on the camera view. And I got to get my butt centered in the chair. We're going to now come around the sides here. So we're going to cover the sides up. So all this section here, so that you should only see the interaction of the marble in here through a peekaboo window. Oh my God, look at it. It's working. You can kind of see it now. That's the peekaboo window that's going to happen. One more time on the side view. Yeah, the side view is not giving it as much. There's the peekaboo window. There we go. Now, it's not showing all the colors yet. That is uranium and black. Right now, it's just all red. All right, let's do the sides here. We're definitely going amber purple. We are definitely doing shimmer. And I think I'm going to throw that teal on there. Let's get it now. If you're new to my channel, one of my shorts, I, for some reason, said, let's get it, and it stuck. So that whenever I say, let's get it, that's why. It's on my shorts video. I never really say that. All right, let's add the amber purple in here. We're going heavy duty on it. Now, one of the things that I do about applying color, one of the techniques I use, you'll notice the marble is rotating away from me. I see a lot of people that do it the opposite direction, where they're spinning the marble in the other direction. I don't like that. And my reasoning is I can see where this rod's being laid down. So as it's stroking it this way around, if I go this way, I can't see where it's going. So that's why I always rotate away from me. And it just kind of helps me keep that even keel of it. Okay, almost looks like the Daily Planet right now. I know, I wish I could TIG weld. I would love to do that. Oh, there's insane in the membrane happening. All right, there's the side. We might get a view of it. Hold on. Might get it. There we are. And then there's uranium in there, so when it does light up, it'll be uranium all lit up in there. There we go. There's insane in the membrane. That's going to be the peekaboo window. Sorry, I need my Mountain Dew. I definitely need some Mountain Dew with that one. All right, let's add the Super Sparkle Teal. This color's no longer made. It hasn't been made in many, many years. There we are. It is a very, very cool color. We're going to lay it down here. All the way around, just a little bit. Yeah, this color was based off an old color called OG Moss. Most people refer to it as OG Moss, Original Moss. And it was based on a really nice green that never cracked. Well, they messed up and they ended up creating teal instead of green. Or teal instead of, yeah, the green. Hold on a second. Where is Skinny Rod? Okay, I may have to grab a quick rod here. Yeah, I gotta grab a clear. Hold on one second. I definitely need this one specific size for this. That's my little hag chair right there. Hag. All right, let's split this down. Yeah, I definitely need a little bit of a skinnier rod for this technique. I don't want it too thick. All right, we're going to set that there. Let's plug ourselves back in. Sorry this marble's taken a while, but this is by far one of the... This is going to be like a gangster marble. It's going to be epic. All right, let's heat it up. See if we can show a little bit of it one more time before we go too far. There we are. We got a little bit of color running through it. So this is going to have what I call a peekaboo window. Most of it's going to be colored on the outside, except for 2 windows on each end. And here we go. We may have to add more color to it, but let's start it off real quick with getting some blending going. And this is going to take a little bit. I don't even know where my brain comes. I had no intention on making this marble this way tonight. This is kind of like a fly by the seat of my pants. This is what comes out of my brain at any given moment. That's why I said it's not fun to be me. It's really not. I can't ever calm my brain down. I'm always thinking of new ideas, new thoughts. All right, here we go. All right, still got a little bit to go. All right, a little bit there. and a tiny bit over here. So right now I'm adding these little swirls in there. And we're going to do more here in a minute. But I just need to get the core, the base of it down. Get that teal mixed in there. And we should be at the tail end here. We're okay. All right. So we have some work still to do, but we're getting there. So I want to bring this out so you guys get a better view. So now we got the little brainiac going in there. We got the sides kind of... Now we're going to go a little further on the sides. This is just the main core of it. There. So this is a little bit of the core. We got a lot of teal running on there. We're going to come around here. We're going to stretch that teal and that up a little higher. We're going to do that via amber purple. Okay, so we're going to come a lot further up. And we're going to create the peekaboo window. This is the peekaboo window. And here we go. So we got to try and drag a lot of this color over. From the center there. So what I do is I heat right in front of where I'm using this rod to try and heat the core of that band we just put on there. So that as I start swirling around, we're kind of dragging it with us. Okay, I got to give it a second to heat up. Losing a little bit of contact here with it. Okay. All right. Let me grab another amber purple. We're going to go over it just a little bit more, and then we're going to start creating the window real quick. And then we're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. Okay, right now we're just going to take this and blend it all the way around. So it should have lots of little spirals. Yep. Okay, and then we're just going to come over here and do the peekaboo window. Okay, that should be good. Oh, a little bit right there. Okay, we are good to go. This marble got way bigger. We're not even done yet. It just going insanely big. Have a good night, John. Thank you for everything. Okay, so let's get this guy going. Okay, we're going to bring it down. Oh, I got to clear some space. There we go. Let's clear some space here. Bring it over. Kind of round it out a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to show you the important part. We're going to come around here. Now the peekaboo window is a little small right now. Okay, we're going to enlarge it a little bit with some clear. Okay, there's a little bit of the window. We need to enlarge that so we can see inside a little better. But we'll get there. Okay, and we got all these colors kind of bouncing around. They're not showing up just yet. They're just partially there. So we're going to expand that little portal. Then we're going to work the other side. Let's go ahead and get that portal opened up real quick. And there we go. So this is a little tricky, but it works. We're going to keep it nice and visible here. So we don't want any air bubbles, nothing. Keep it nice and round. There we go. That should be good right there. All right, we're going to pull it apart, separate it a little. Yeah, this marble went really big. It's not even done yet. It's already big. All right, let's get this thing rounded out a little so I can save that portal and show you where we're at. All right, we're doing fantastic here. Bring it in. Start shaping. Yep, that's exactly where I want it. It's about right there. Now this one will look really good with a light base under it. I can tell you that right now. All right, let's bring it in a little, start shaping it out a little bit more. Yeah, that works. Okay, we're going to bring it in, smooth it out a little bit. Okay. So I'm trying to create, I want the portal window to also have kind of like a little, like, smoky effect going around it a tiny bit. It shouldn't be a sharp, clear, round window. It should have kind of like a little smoky effect to it. Yeah, they definitely have light bases. So now we got the window going through there. You can see the little object way inside, and then we got the sides running. So when you look inside, you'll see the little vision right there, and we'll get all this rounded out and blended. But now you're starting to see the little object inside. But from the sides, you won't be able to tell what's in there. Now we just have to do the other side and get it. Would it fit in your marble family? Do you mean the light bases? Looks like Saturn. Yeah. What's up? Hey, Stephen. How are you? How you doing, Connor? We're making a big old marble. Yeah, light bases will fit in. You just get them on Amazon. Don't fall for any crazy light bases. Light bases are super easy to get on Amazon. I mean, I could probably link some that I like. All right, we are, yeah, that portal looks good. Let's bring it out a little bit. So you can kind of see it's coming through. You can even see the object in there a little bit right now. Let's do the other side and get it all wound up here. Yeah, this is cool looking. So we just have to extend the color out a little bit here. Not much, actually. We don't have to do too much here. It's actually pretty, it's almost pretty good right where it's at. We just a little bit more. But it's actually not far off. Let's grab some amber purple and do that. We're just going to blend it right in just a little bit, not doing too much. I'm going to create an entirely different look on this side. Bring it really heavy color change in here. All right, we're almost there. Almost to the spot I started. All right, we're good. I don't think I need to add any more. We're going to leave this very, very ambery purple. Yeah, the light bases are pretty easy, but there are a few on Amazon I really like. In fact, the jellyfish is on a light base. That one wouldn't be so good for a marble. That's more of a sculpture one. But yeah. All right, let's get this rounded out. And here we go. Oh man, I can't wait to see this done. Okay, let's work on it. This has been a long marble. This has taken a while. I went way more than I anticipated. But it's good to get this one done out of my head. We're getting it kind of smooth here. I don't think this side is going to need much more. We're just going to get rid of any ridges, chunks, any chunky monkeys, any dips, crevices, bubbles. We're going to get rid of that. And then we're going to punty up. I don't think this needs much more on this side. I think it has everything it needs. Ooh. Except for a little dot. Damn it. Are you still there? Yep. So it's got a tiny little dot. I'm going to show you what. Would you really notice it? Probably not, but I'm going to show you anyway. I'm going to take it out. There's a tiny, tiny little speck right there, right at the top. I'm going to try and bring it out. Little bastard. Hold on. So it's going to be right at the top. That little bubble. Whatever it is. Right there. Little bobble. Anyway, there's the inside. Let me get rid of it. It's gotta give me a problem. And done. Had to get it out. Yeah, it's a little bit of a marble. Jupiter, yeah, it's going to have some very cool effects. I'm going to show you some of the colors as we start getting more and more done with it. The color glass, yeah, it is a 33 borosilicate. All right, a little bit of wobble off to the side. We're going to get that out before we switch the punty. And then we're going to rotate back to the other side. And it should be the last time we have to put a punty on. So one more switcheroo, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to just make sure this is ultra, ultra, ultra clean. Not just ultra clean, but ultra, ultra, ultra clean. Yeah, that side's good. So we're good there. How much does it cost to get started? Roughly, I used to say 2,500, but everything's gone up in price, so I'm going to say 3,000 now to get started. I'm going to actually create an entire, like I said, I'm probably going to do Patreon, but I'm going to create an entire program where someone could go on and look at the starter equipment I think is viable, and where to purchase said equipment. Because not everywhere is the same for quality as far as reliability with customer service. All right, this is going to pop. We're going to clean it up a little. Got to keep the marble hot. And here we go. We're going to take this little tiny bit off here. Clean it up. Clean up in aisle 1. All done. Okay, let's take a look at where we're at. I haven't shown this off too much. There's the inside. This is the peekaboo window. See the peekaboo smoke going through? There's the inside, the insane in the membrane in there. There's the little version right there. So there's the peekaboo. And then from the side, it's very hard to see in there. And we got the little peekaboo window. And that's going to be uranium glass in there. Glowing. Yeah, this one's pretty insane. That's not acting right. You work. There was something about that wasn't sitting well with me. Like the color was dirty or something. The clear was dirty or something. All right, we're kind of showing you the side view how I put this on, and then we'll change it back over to the normal view. So that's what it looks like when you go to do the attachment. Okay, now let's go to the front view. There we go. Pop it in close. Right about there. Ooh, that's a hot mama right there. So the rod got hot from sitting underneath the torch. It's roasting right now. It is hot. But I'm not changing rods. We're already committed. Just suck it up. All right, let's pull this off. And we're going to pull this little bit here off. Like that. Then we just have to smooth all this out. Really, TikTok? It's making me do my CAPTCHA. Ah, got it first try. All right, so this is going to start mellowing into the little spot here, the peekaboo window. We're going to get it all refined. We're pretty close to the end of this marble. I'm going to be able to hopefully show you a little bit of its wonderful aspects here, but you won't even, we got to wait till tomorrow to completely show its beauty. But it's pretty outstanding. I've never done it this particular way before. So this is kind of a new marble design for me, and I'm not quite sure I'll do it again. It's been a lot of work getting this sucker done. I mean, a lot of work. And just getting it all smoothed out now. Getting rid of all the little wrinkles, all the little flaws. Oh, I got to go to the bigger window. Sorry. You guys aren't able to see the mold happening. Let's punch out right there. Let's punch in just a little bit right about there. This will give you guys a better view. All right, we're going to start working the smaller molds, refining it. And I think I got a little wobble in here. I'm not sure. I'm trying to find it. I thought I saw one, but maybe not. So this is where you get it super round on these really small molds, and you kind of get it worked in. Oh yeah, there it is. Trying to hide from me. Not going to happen. I spotted this little tiny dip. It's just a dip. I'm hoping to not have to punty it up again. I think we can get it out, but I'm not 1000% sure. All right, let me see if I can get this dip out. I'm going to have to change the angle. Let me smooth this out. Where are you? Right there. Almost gone. Just a tiny little blip right here. I might just kind of blip it. Nope. Okay, I think that got it. Let me just smooth it out. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, let's check it out one more time. Sorry, that was bugging the hell out of me. All right, we're going to go a little noisy right now because of the amber purple. We're going to get it super, super aggressive with the oxygen concentration, if you will. The amount of oxygen flowing through it's going to be a little loud. Okay, Meta, shut up. Apparently, Meta told me how to reduce the sound. Okay, so we're going to try separating it. If it's got a little bit of a problem, we will punty to the side of it. I'm going to try and get this punty off really clean, make the windows super nice. If it's a problem, I'll punty it from the side, and then we'll handle it from there. But we'll be okay. All right, we got the little peekaboo window in there. So we got the little uranium stuff going on in there. Now all that's going to get balanced out. We got the teals and stuff running through. There's the amber purples. Like that. And that still hasn't shown up all the color that's going to happen with it. Okay, we still haven't seen it all. You know, I am going to punty to this other side. I'm sorry. I just think I could get it a little bit better by doing this way. I don't really want to chance it. We've done all this work. I want to make sure it's 1000% perfect. Okay, we're just going to come through. Again, we're on the side view for this punty. And it's barely on there. I mean, it is barely on there. Bring it right up there. Okay, this is the scary part. One little bump, one little maneuver, and off it comes. That part sucks. Okay, I'm glad I did it this way. This was a little more attached than I wanted it. Would have been very hard to clean it up. Okay, we're going to separate it here. This is definitely an epic, epic marble. I'm excited to see it. Had to make sure that little shard wasn't like a crotch rocket, like the little ones that fly. Even though I got the apron on, little sucker can sneak in there. All right, let's get this rounded out. Yeah, that's perfectly smooth, no problems. Okay, we're going to do the scary part here. Please don't fall. All right, we are good to go. We're going to do the last separation here. I can't get it too close right now. Okay, I can't get it too close. We'll do it when we have, now you can see on the inside. Now that's all going to be uranium glass showing up on the inside there. Then we got the outside portion. We're going to get all that amber purple bouncing through a little bit. We're going to leave it side view. We're going to grab Dragonfly's amazing marble mold or holder. Pop it in. Man, it barely fits in there. So this is how you get it off the stick. You have it attached there and you just tap. And I'm glad I did this because it's a super clean version right there. We're just going to melt that in and get it smoothed out. No fuss. Yeah, very clean. All right, now we're all good to go. So here we go, little secret peek. There's the inside. A little insane in the membrane in there. Now that is going to be amazing when it gets very, there's the amber purple showing up. We got the teal in the middle and then amber purple up top. So we got tricolor going, a little bit of, let me see if it looks through this way. Yeah, it's hard to see that way. But yeah, that amber purple's popping out right there. But you can see deep inside there, little spirals and again, I can't wait to see this. Nope, little wobble. Hold on. That's where the punty was. It had a... There we go. Okay, we might be able to see peek inside and way inside there. Oh, you can see a little uranium now. I wish it was just showing. Maybe it'll show black light. Nope. Not yet. All right, let's get this in the kiln. That was a lot more than I thought. I'm glad we made it. I'm very happy to have made that, but it was a lot of work. Yeah, that was a lot of stuff going on with it. Okay, I definitely need to take a break from that though. So, how heavy is it? It's pretty damn. It's I don't know weight wise exactly, but it's heavy. Thank you, Daisy girl. Appreciate it. Yeah. Good night, Bayo. I think I'm done. That was a pretty draining piece. So I will be on first thing tomorrow, and we will catch you all tomorrow. Mods, thank you very much for always being there and doing such an awesome job. I appreciate you. And everybody else,